Manifest!
Trash Blood Horrorcast is a mixture of horror movies, spooky stuff, and goofy dipshit comedy. Funny laugh laugh. You've been warned.
Demons to some, angels to others. Keep away! The power's mine! You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.
Hey everybody, welcome to Trash Blood Horrorcast. I am Zach, and last week we had my sister Maddie on, and she is back again because this is a pretty big announcement. She is the new co-host of Trash Blood Horrorcast. BJ is no longer on the show. Just a lot going on with life, and the world is kind of shit right now, and he might be back on here at some time, but yeah, Maddie is the new co-host of Trash Blood. Say hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
What?
No, I'm really excited to be here. The world is shit right now, but this is a nice escapism.
Yeah, it's kind of keeping me sane. Like here lately, I just kind of I'm looking at bugs. By the way, trash bloodians. There's all sorts of bugs in here flying around because I'm in my fucking barn and I have to have my door open and my fan on because it's hotter than dog shit. Man. Anyways, what?
You mean trash buggians?
Trash buggians. What was I saying right before that? Jesus Christ. But yeah. So welcome to the show, Maggie. Maggie. I called you Maggie. That's Jill's daughter's. Maddie. Welcome to the show.
Sorry, I'll only be referred to as Maggie now.
Oh man, my sister and my stepkid.
Oh, that sounds too Alabama.
You're my stepsister, kid, stepsister. Shit.
Ooh, Pixie.
I don't know why a lot of the time when I do a redneck accent, I throw in a high pitched noise I don't know.
It works.
Maybe it's
it goes with it.
Maybe it's the yodeling that sticks out. It's just a quick yodel, not even a full yodel. It's a yod.
A yod. That's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah. How has your life changed now that you're on the show?
Oh, I get recognized in the streets. There's paparazzis taking pictures of me. They're like, man, where's Chud Thunder at? I gotta see that cat. I'm like, she's right there.
She is stretching out behind me, too. The official. She's the new Trash Blood mascot, kind of. On my old show, it was Corey's dogs, but now we got Chud Thunder. Let me, oh, nope, she doesn't want me to pick her up. I was going to show her the camera, but she's like, fuck that. Anyways.
She's only the mascot when she wants to be.
Yeah. And yeah, I named her Chud because the movie Chud is awesome. I watched Chud with the kids and Jill, and now we got to watch part 2. Have you ever seen Chud?
It's been a long time, but yeah.
It's cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers is what it stands for.
Perfect name for a cat.
Yeah, part 1 and part 2 are completely different than each other. Both good horror flicks from the 80s. They're both. I think part 2 is also from the 80s. But
yeah, I'll have to watch it again. It's been a while. I can barely remember it.
Yeah, you will have to watch it again, won't you?
Don't tell me what to do.
So on this episode, last episode we didn't do manifestation because Maddie was sharing stories and we had I guess a lot to talk about. And so we are going to do manifestation this time. And we are also going to talk about the movie Hereditary. So if you haven't seen that, I suggest watching it because there will be spoiler alerts. So, yeah, Hereditary. And we're also going to do a script that Maddie actually wrote. Maddie, what is the script called? Tell the people.
Oh, well, this is my very first attempt at writing a Trash Blood horror spoof script.
Tell these real idiot dickheads what you're writing about.
It's called Critter 6, Let's Get Furry. Title given to me by by Uncle Trash Blood himself. I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed writing it.
Yeah. It's after reading it, I was like, yeah, she's definitely my sister. She's definitely related to me. We definitely I was kind of surprised how close the humor and style was. Awesome. This is kind of like I wrote it.
I was just trying to get into the right mindset, you know?
The what? What are you saying?
The
Bugs. I'm gonna grab my water real quick. It's like right here. Sorry. I'm really thirsty for some reason.
You thirsty boy?
Mm.
You're gonna be a PP boy here in a second.
I probably will be a BPP boy. So, ice water is my favorite drink. Everybody thinks that's really weird, but my favorite drink in the world is ice water.
Water is my least favorite drink in the world.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You didn't like water. I love, like, everything about it's awesome. I just love the refreshing cold. Yeah, that's what this podcast is, everybody. Zach got high and he's like, I like ice water. I drink it. It's refreshing, and I turn it to pee. But
well, it's not. I'll drink ice cold water. Like, if it is ice freaking cold, then I enjoy drinking it. But anything else, like room temperature water, or it could even be like slightly cold, I don't like drinking it. It tastes weird. It's not good.
Yeah, I don't like room temperature water. It has to be ice cold water. And yeah. So I think we're changing this to a watercast. Wattcast, brah. Wattcast.
Shaka bra.
My cat is behind I have a statue of David cardboard cutout. She's back there doing something weird to it, but who cares, right? All right. So, hey, you want to go ahead and get into manifestation? My cat jumped out and was like, what the fuck was that? Manifestation.
She said I wasn't.
She's catching those bugs for me, actually. Those bugs I was just bitching about and getting pissed off about. She's catching them. That's why she's
what a great mascot.
Good thing I named her Chud Thunder. She's quite the little hunter, dude. Isn't that weird? A cat being good at hunting? Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk?
So right, if you haven't seen Trash Blood before or heard the podcast, and by the way, I plan on putting these YouTube episodes on the podcast platform, Spotify, and all that. I just haven't done it yet because I'm having computer problems, and I'm gonna have to use either my girlfriend's laptop or I'm going to get a new one sometime soon. It's just a big pain in the ass, and that's why I haven't done it yet. So it will be on there as well. So I apologize to people that like are listeners, because I know it's kind of hard to just watch a YouTube video sometimes. I don't watch anybody's YouTube podcast. So watch mine, though. But manifestation is one of us picks something from the horror movie realm. It could be a horror movie, a horror actor, prop from a movie, literally anything in the horror movie genre or realm. And we say what it would manifest into. It can manifest into a single object, like a bottle. If you want to be boring. Just kidding. But, or it could also manifest into like something very elaborate, like a bottle in the middle of the desert, and there's reptiles licking each end of it, and then they catch each other's eye and they start fucking on top of it for some reason. That can be a manifestation. But
anything can be a manifestation. It's up to your imagination.
Well, yeah. You're fucking goddamn right.
I know. Well, I'm so smart.
Me cuss boy. Yeah, all right. Let's do that. Okay, so Maddie, my sister from the exact same mister.
Okay, you ready for this?
What do you have for me? What do you want me to...
All right, so what I'd like you to manifest today is the shower drain from Psycho.
The shower drain from Psycho. That's a pretty good one. It's been a while since I've seen it. And does it show blood go down the drain? I can't remember.
Yeah, so it starts by showing the shower drain, and it's just water going down there, and then the blood kind of slowly comes in and then like circles around into it, and then it kind of the camera follows into the drain. Okay.
So, man, this is tough for some reason. Okay, the shower drain from Psycho, I think would manifest. You're welcome, listeners. I think it would manifest into, like, a public bathroom that's like all concrete, and they have like those metal mirrors just stuck to the wall.
Yeah, already disgusting.
So it's one of those. It's one of those bathrooms, and like someone walks in there, like a trucker that's been on the road for 10 hours, and he's got a really empty one out. And so he's got an empty one out. So he goes and uses this nasty ass toilet at the rest stop. It is not necessarily nasty. I just see a concrete building with, it looks like a prison bathroom kind of.
What truck stop isn't nasty though?
Yeah, right. I mean, every time I've had sex there, it's so anyways, so yeah, he gets done peeing, he burps, he farts, he turns around and he looks in the mirror and he's like gets pissed off about how fucking ugly he is. He's like, fuck, why am I so ugly? I'm not trying to ugly shame anybody, but this guy's he's uglier than a sucking dog shit. A big old sucking dog shit. He is uglier
That's pretty
than hell.
ugly.
So he was looking at it and he starts crying. He takes off his ball hat, his trucker hat, and he just starts headbutting the mirror over and over again. And like till like there's blood all over it, and then he like falls down and passes out. And then you just hear him snoring. And that's what I think the drain from Psycho would manifest into.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Not a flaw in that. So, Maddie, what do you think the drain from Psycho would manifest into?
That one was the weirdest one yet. Let's see here. All right, so the drain from Psycho would manifest into... So have you ever like been to an apple orchard? Orchard?
I don't know if I've actually been to one, but I know what they are.
You know what it's like, though.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think I've actually ever been to one, though. But yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
So
yeah,
just imagine just apple trees towering over each side of you, and you're walking down them, right? And it's like past peak apple season, so they're all falling to the ground, and their rotten cores are like bursting open, and they have like little worms crawling in and out of them. And some little hillbilly kid that went to the orchard with his mom goes around and he sees it and he picks it up and he puts it in his pocket to take it home. And once he gets home, he takes it out and he puts it in his toilet and he just takes the worm out and puts it on top and he just flushes it over and over again, but he won't let the worm go down the drain and die. So he just suffers. This worm is just suffering for like days and drowning because this little boy
he's doing it for days.
He won't let him go. He won't even eat. He won't sleep. He's just in the bathroom for 48 hours. His mom thinks he's dead, but she doesn't care enough to check. And finally, he gets bored of it, and he picks the worm out of the bottom of the toilet, and he eats it.
Fuck. That was hardcore. I like it. That was awesome.
The metal as fuck.
Suffer the toilet. Fuck. Suffer the toilet.
That's what I think the shower drain from Psycho would manifest into.
God damn, it sounds like every time I take a shit.
For days.
That's what I say every time I take a shit. I go, suffer the toilet.
It's in the family, me too.
Yeah, it's because I'm a grown 38-year-old man. And I say things like suffer the toilet and life is life.
Just do it. Live your life. That's just the way it is.
Or, you know what saying I hate the most? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But anyway, so that was, I got bugs flying at me. That was manifestation. And if any of you guys have like a manifestation you want to share with us, like something from the horror movie realm, just tell us what you want us to manifest. Throwing bugs. This is what happens when you record in a refurbished barn. Out come the bugs. But yeah, if you guys want to message us on the Trash Blood Horrorcast Facebook page, say like, hey, I want to see Bram Stoker's Dracula's Keanu Reeves boy turned into a manifest, or anything you got, just message us. That's where we'll probably check the most is the Facebook page, because Instagram page is, it's half Trash Blood, half my life, more my life, I guess. It's my life. It's Trash Blood
now or
too.
never. Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's the only social media. We're on an app called Slasher. It's a horror movie app. It's like Facebook, but it's all horror movie stuff. I like it, but it glitches all the time, so I'm kind of just not on there anymore because it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
But if it gets fixed, it's an awesome thing. I mean, I'm not talking shit about it, but like, I just have so much trouble on there. But like, it's a good way to get more horror movie fans. I just need to get back on there and suffer the glitch while I'm on the toilet suffering the toilet. anyways, so yeah, follow us on the Facebook page and the Instagram page, and that's it. Subscribe to us as well on this YouTube channel, and rate and review us, all that good stuff. Share us, social media, you know the drill.
Give us all your attention. Give us your money. What's your social security number?
Yeah. Tell us that. We want to know. But no, seriously, if you do like the show, I mean, just one share on your Facebook. That's all, I mean, you can do as much as you want to, obviously, but if you do enjoy the show, you like what we do, I mean, just do us a solid, rate, review, share. We're just trying to get out there more, especially since we have a different format. We're doing it on video now. And now we have a different co-host. Fucking weirdo, but she's pretty cool,
I don't know
guess,
who the fuck invited her here.
Yeah.
Whoever it was a real idiot dickhead.
Yeah, real moron, fuckhead, shitty dick.
Shitty.
Fuckhead. This video is called Cuss Cuss.
Brought to you by yours truly. 5 stars on Netflix.
Well, anyways, let's take a break real quick, and we'll get back in. God, I can't talk. Take a black ball, kick a buck. No, we'll take a break
talking.
real quick. Yeah. I'm not even drinking Natural Light this time. First video episode, I haven't drank a Natural Light product. Trying to be a good boy, and I need to not drink beer every time I'm out here. You know what I mean, Gene Okerlund? So, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. We're going to talk about the movie Hereditary. And, yeah. So, I really suggest you watch that. There will be spoiler alerts. A lot of you might have already seen it, so you got nothing to worry about. But, hey, we'll be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry we had to take a break there for a while. Now we're going to talk about a movie that we actually saw together in theaters when it came out a couple years ago.
Theaters is the movies, if you guys don't know.
Oh, sorry, I'm too educated. Let me dumb it down to Arkansas level.
The movies.
We went to the whole the moving pictures theaters together.
Yes, we did.
It's called Hereditary. It came out in 2018. So it's not that old. So it's not a surprise if some of you probably haven't seen it yet. But if you haven't, I would definitely recommend watching it. It's not your typical horror movie, I guess you'd say. It doesn't have a lot of the jump scares that a lot of horror movies lately especially are surrounded by, just jump scares and hiding everything from you. Everything in this movie is right out into your face, and you're still confused as fuck about it the whole time.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see a movie that's original in the theaters, because there are so many like generic films that are in the theaters. Like all these horror movies that are PG-13, and they're not necessarily bad because they're PG-13, but there's so many that are like just the same recycled bullshit over and over again. So it's always cool to see something really unique and something like different. It's like,
oh yeah,
it almost like exercises your mind, because you're not like, I mean, you could watch Fast and the Furious movies all day and just like, like, is that what babies do? So they just like, I'm a baby,
yeah.
I'm a baby.
Babies and baby men.
Yeah, it's directed by Ari Aster, which I told Maddie to watch an Ari Aster short film and didn't tell her anything about it, which was called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. And we've talked about it on the show before a while back. It's on the podcast. We haven't done it on video, but yeah. So what'd you think about The Strange Thing About the Johnsons?
Dude, those Johnsons sure are strange.
They're strange as fuck.
It was weird, man. It was so weird. Like, I wasn't expecting what it was at all. Especially, I watched it in the morning, or not really in the morning, but it was my morning because I just woke up. So my brain was barely processing reality. And I sat down to watch this, and it was so shocking that I just sat there whispering to myself, like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Tell these real idiot dickheads what it's about.
So it's about this family, a mom, a son, and the dad. And it comes in, and it's the dad walks in on his son masturbating, I guess for the first time, and they have this like weird conversation about it. And that was the first time I noticed that something fucking weird was gonna happen. Because at the end And I kept noticing the dad's eyes, like, jutting down. Like, they just go up to his face and then, like, go away. And I'm like, what the fuck is he looking at?
Yeah.
And it just goes on to where the son is older and they get married. And you find out that the son...
When he does that, when the dad leaves the room, he pulls out a picture and he was jerking off to a picture of his dad.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Which is fucking weird. I mean, I've
we've all
definitely
done
never
that.
jerked it to our dad.
I mean, yeah, me either. Yeah.
Yeah, you neither? God.
Yeah.
Like, it's intense. I wasn't expecting it to get that violent, and just, it's about how the son grows up and gets married, and all of a sudden it feels like the dad is, like, trapped in this weird relationship that he started, and he doesn't know how to leave it. And
yeah, he totally is. Well, I mean, it's his son that started it from what it looks like, and like I think it just turned into abuse. Like, his dad was terrified of him, and it showed why he was terrified of him. He got violent with him and shit. And yeah, if you guys want to see one of the weirdest movies of all time, the thing is, it's well done. I don't hate it, but it's nothing I want to watch a lot. It's like, I respect it. I like it enough, as weird as that sounds. And the reason why is because it's something completely different, and it's something that will turn your fucking mind inside out.
Right.
And it's just something different. And like I said, I'm not, it's nothing I'm like, well, I'm bored, I think I'll put on the Johnsons. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I mean, it's good to see something new and unique, even if it is completely weird and fucked up. Like, it's worth a watch just so you can be like, oh my God.
The psychology behind it is just really interesting, and it's really short too. It's less than 30 minutes long, so it's not something you have to like dedicate yourself to like watching.
Right. And he also has like a few more short movies on there as well. They're not, I think they're all weird, but they're not like that fucking weird. Like, the other ones are like kind of normal compared to The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. There's not people having sex with their fathers and stuff.
Oh, that's not normal?
Yeah, that's why I don't like those very much.
Yeah, no, that's not my cup of tea. When I go to Pornhub, I go straight to incest.
Yeah. Oh, God. If I'm watching a movie and no one's fucking their dad, I'd turn the movie right off.
It's not even worth my time.
I can't wait for Mom to watch this.
Love you, Mom. We're talking about Dad, not you.
Yeah, we jack off to Dad. God damn.
That's definitely worse.
Videos, am I right? But so yeah, we watched Hereditary, and I watched it you watched it yesterday as well, I guess. And I forgot that we went to the theater and saw it together. I'm sorry, I'm a shithead. No,
cherished memory, forgotten to time.
Yeah, I'll never remember that time. But yeah, it was it's a really good movie. It's kind of slow. I don't think it's too slow. Like, my fiance Jill didn't like it. She just thought it was too slow. But like, I think the build up is fine. Everything that happens is fine. And I think it's a genuinely creepy movie. And it starts off, there's a family living in this house. There's wife, husband, son, daughter. Daughter's 13. The son was probably 16, 17, something like that. Yeah. And the daughter's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with her. Like, and this isn't any sort of shaming when I say this, but her head is kind of deformed. Like, it's kind of like these parts are kind of lumpy, and like, I don't know. She's got
a weird face. Like, she looks just creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, I think
weird like eye bags too.
Yeah, I kind of think that's just what the actress looked like. I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, I feel bad for her. I mean, if that's the case, but like I said, not shaming, just describing what the character. These bugs are seriously about to fucking piss me off, dude. Oh my fucking God. Anyways, motherfucks.
You need to get a bug zapper, like one of the tennis racket ones. So you just fucking yeet them out.
Yeah, I actually have one in my house. I should
bring it out.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I'll go grab it before we do the script. Anyways, so yeah, so the 13-year-old, it doesn't really explain what her condition is. I think she's autistic as well.
Based on her mannerisms and what she does, and like the involuntary like clicking, the that she does.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
seems like some form of autism.
Yeah, she randomly does a tongue-clicking noise. She draws pictures of people in school. One weird thing she did is a bird hit the window in her class, and it lands in the bush. And after school, she goes up to it, and she takes the bird, she cuts its head off with a scissors, and I think she adds it to a figure that she's making or something like that. But
yeah, she makes all these weird, weird figurines and out of just random shit, like Altoids cans and sticks and whatever she can get a hand of to make like handmade dolls that just look creepy as shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And basically this movie starts out like the mom's mother dies. The mom dies. And, they have a funeral and all that stuff. And she's sad about that. She starts going to I don't know what it's kind of like AA, but it's not AA at all. It's when you lose a loved one and you need to go grieve, but it's like that same style, circle and all that shit, and coffee and cigarettes, whatever. And so she meets some lady that wants to like give her phone number and all this shit, and she wants her to. Was that before or after the kid goes?
So that was after. So
okay,
before
yeah.
She was just going to the meetings to deal with losing her mom because she was never close with her mom. It was known in the movie that her mom was really secretive and private, and she had a lot of like friends come to her funeral that her daughter had never seen there before, and they've been estranged for a long time, but she was still her mom, so she didn't know how to feel about it. So she was seeking some kind of help to process whatever she was feeling.
Right. But so at one point the son likes this girl in his class, and he wants to go to a party. I think it's mainly because she's there, and so he's gonna go to this party, and then like the mom asks if he'll take the daughter as well, and so he takes her so they can kind of socialize. She's depressed.
That's weird,
about.
Though.
Well, she's
Didn't
depressed.
You think that part was weird?
I mean, in a way, I guess. It depends on how trusting you are of your kids, I guess.
Well, she asked if there was going to be alcohol at this party. Like, she knew what kind of function it was going, and she still wanted her young daughter to be, like, in that situation.
Yeah, right. That is kind of weird, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do that as well.
Yeah.
But, so they go to this party, and, like I said, she's, 13, so everybody is older than her as well. And, so he goes to smoke weed in the back room with the girl he likes. They're hitting a bang, but 420, bro. So he's in there smoking weed. Well, before he does that, she's kind of wandering around, doesn't know what to do. And there's cake, and he tells her to go eat cake. But earlier in the movie,
there's a bug on your shoulder. Just want you to know.
Fucking bastard motherfuckers, dude. I'm going to kill these sons of bitches. Okay. Yeah, after we talk about Hereditary, I'm going to go get that tennis racket and destroy these bastards. Anyways, I'm going to make my own. Yeah, I'm going to make my own horror movie. It's going to be just for bugs. They're going to watch it and be like, don't fuck with this guy. But, so, there's cake there. And earlier you find out that, she is allergic to nuts because her mom, she's eating a candy bar. Her mom asked if there's nuts in it. She says they're not. So, obviously she's allergic. And so she gets a piece of cake and she's eating it while he's smoking weed in the other room, which I thought was kind of weird for her to do. I mean, I know it looks like a good ass cake, but if you got a peanut allergy, maybe ask somebody first before you just start chomping down on some cake.
But you got to remember that something she's autistic. So that would probably be hard for her. But in the beginning, when they get to the party...
fuck her. She's dumb. No.
When they get to the party, it shows a scene of this person in the party chopping up 10 pounds of walnuts. You just see them with that huge knife, and you're thinking, oh God, that's not good.
Right.
So obviously, there were so many nuts on the board. How could she have not seen that and been like, oh man, I wonder if any of these has touched a nut before?
Yeah, man, I can't think. Countless parties I've been to where people are just chopping up walnuts and making cakes. I mean, that's just regular party thing. If you're going to a party, I mean, there's walnuts and cake. I mean,
that's just the way it is. It's the American
forget about it. Yeah. So yeah, she starts eating that cake and she starts, at first she's going like, you can tell she's having a little bit of discomfort, but she's hanging out for a while. And then she like comes in the room and like tells him, she's like, her throat's getting bigger and she's having trouble breathing. So he like carries her out of there. They run to the car, they're driving off. And like, so one thing in movies that always freaks me out, like, you know, like you can almost feel it for them, is like suffocation or choking or breathing problems. That's one thing that like gets to me. Like when I'm watching movies, I'm like, they kind of like, oh shit, you know, it's kind of hard to watch. And like, so she's doing that. She's in that back seat, just like kicking and stuff. And she like can't breathe at all. She's like really struggling. He's trying to get to the hospital. Becomes like, you know, the famous part of the movie that a lot of us know, or even if you haven't seen it, she sticks her head out of the window because she can't breathe. And like, so there's a deer in the middle of the road. He swerves, telephone pole, head gets knocked clean the fuck off.
It's okay, Charlie. We're almost to the hospital, okay? Charlie!
Yeah. I'm talking too much. You want to go from here?
Oh, that moment was just so shocking. Yeah. I remember when we watched it for the first time, I audibly gasped in the theater. Like I jumped a little, and I usually don't do that. Like things don't really take me by surprise. I can usually tell where things are going, but that scared the fuck out of me because I was like, did that really just happen? Like everything was almost normal up until this point, that it was just unexpected. I figured the car would crash or something like that, but I wasn't expecting her head to just get whopped off.
Yeah, that whole scene is just super intense because you're first dealing with like her choking like that, and she does a good job on that part. Like she looks like she's dying. She's like kicking and like moving around like crazy. It's fucked up. And then she gets her goddamn head knocked off. And if you notice, like it's kind of hard to notice the first time you see it, but I watched it this time. When they're driving to the party, there's a still frame with a pole, and they drive by, and kind of like a foreshadow. But
that pole has a symbol on it that becomes really important to the meaning of the movie that you learn later.
That. Oh shit, I didn't notice that. That's cool when shit like that happens. Because,
something I really liked about this movie is it did foreshadowing really well. And they put it really out there in front of your face, and it didn't hide anything, but you still were left wondering like what this means until it comes back to like later in the movie. You're like, oh, that reminds me about that. Because first you have the bird's head getting cut off, and then you have the telephone pole there, and the whole nut allergy being like exaggerated over and over again. It just works really well with how they did the movie. It was just really well done, and I love that when movies are able to show you what they mean without having to hide it and be like in a lot of monster movies that they kind of keep the camera off of the monster and they're like, oh, what is it? I don't really know. We'll find out later.
Yeah.
But this movie doesn't do that. And you're still left wondering like, what's happening?
Yeah,
I didn't know what was happening the entire time I was watching this movie.
Yeah, and he but yeah, when that happens, he like just sits there for a while. Goddamn fucking bugs.
You're gonna lose your shit. You're gonna
fucking am, dude. This is pissing me off, dude. These little fucking jerk offs. Anyways, bugs, man, that'd be pissing me off. But yeah, so he just gets in the car and starts driving. Like after, like he sits there for a while, and he gets home and he just gets out and he goes to bed. And you hear the parents say, "Oh, good, they're home." And then, like I kind of like how they did this scene because he's laying there with his eyes open. It's night. And then it slowly just gets to daylight. He's like in the same position with his eyes open. And then you hear his mom, Toni Collette, which is an awesome actress, dude. She does a kick-ass job in this movie. She's also in The Conjuring Part 1. And I like the Conjuring movies, too. Those Part 1 and 2 are both
I haven't seen
really
the
good.
second one.
I actually like it better than the first one. They're both good though. Like
I'm gonna
for
have to watch
mainstream
it.
horror,
It's been
they're
on my
pretty
list
good.
for a while. I just haven't had the opportunity to get around to it yet.
Like I mean, I've said it here on like past episodes. It's like it's a mainstream horror movie, but they do it really good. Like it's creepy and like I don't know, I like it. Anyways, Head Terry. So yeah, they had the funeral for the daughter, and then like her mom is like just fucking at wit's end and all this shit, and then like something happens like where she you know what? I think we missed a part. Like, didn't she see her mom's ghost like before that shit happened, or was it afterwards?
So that was the first thing that happened that indicated that it was a horror movie. It was near the very beginning. I think it was after the mom's funeral, and the mom was in her like work study, and she makes tiny figurines and sets based off of her life, which is creepy as fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
Hated that. And in the corner of her eye in her workshop, she turns off the light, and it's just her mom standing there in the corner looking creepy as hell, kind of smiling at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns the light back on, and she's gone. And she's
that
like,
smile
Mom?
is so creepy. Yeah.
Oh, she just looks weird. Like, she just looks like an old lady, but it's still creepy. They didn't do anything to her. It's just a lady. And it was still really creepy.
It's just the fact that you know that she's dead, and then it's her ghost. They're just smiling like oh shit. But then like stuff starts happening with the daughter. Like I think was it the son or the daughter that heard it first? They hear the tongue click. And
well,
like,
it can't be the daughter, because that's her clicking.
Or, I mean,
it's after
she
died.
The son or the mom, I mean.
Yeah,
the son
heard it first.
Yeah, I think
Peter.
when he was driving, he heard it, right?
Yeah, and it scared the fuck out of him, obviously.
Yeah. God, that'd be so creepy, because that's a pretty distinctive thing. It's like, that's exactly what she did, and then, like, she just died, and then he hears it right behind him in the car. That would be very creepy.
Which is, it really ties back to after the accident happened, and you see Peter sitting there in the front, and his hands are just glued to the steering wheel, and his eyes slowly move up to the rear view mirror and then jut down like he's too afraid to look. And he's just sitting there completely quiet and traumatized. Like, his face during that scene, and he tried to ask if, like, she was okay. He, like, stuttered it out and then just kept going. Like, that scene was probably the creepiest part for me, because I could feel what he was feeling so intensely.
Yeah.
Like,
and it shows, like, the next day, it shows her head, like, laying on the side of the road, and, like, there's ants all over it, and bugs have been eaten, and it's, like, really, really fucked up looking.
Oh, it looks so bad. Her tongue was, like, all out to the side. She looked just...
Yeah, it was crazy.
She looked like she was in a lot of pain.
I kind of want that prop, though. That's a pretty cool prop.
Oh, hell yeah.
But so she meets the lady we were talking about earlier. She kind of like, she goes to that meeting again, but she sits in the parking lot, doesn't know she wants to go in. She goes to leave. And this lady just kind of jumps out in front of her to talk to her, gives her phone number, and they kind of get chummy, get a little close for a minute. And then like she meets her up with her like, oh my God, I can't believe this worked. She did like a seance or something, and she said that, she talked to her grandson, and then she, got the mother to do the same thing, or told her what she needed to do and all that stuff. She showed her how to do it, and like stuff happened, like I think like her hair moved, and like the glass slid, like the hair moved, like the kid like might have blew on her and stuff. And then there was a chalkboard he used to have, and he wrote with the chalk, "I love you, Grandma."
Granny.
Or Granny. Was it Granny?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty creepy.
Pretty well done too.
Yeah.
Like this whole seance thing and using Ouija boards and stuff like that is a pretty common theme in movies. You see that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still just as creepy, even though nothing like new happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing you weren't expecting,
Right,
I think a lot because of Toni Collette's character and how she acted in it. She just she did really good in this film. Like, she looked like a mom who had just lost her fucking world, and she didn't know what was going on, and you could tell that she was just slowly losing her sanity.
Yeah, for sure. Fucking bugs. That's the ongoing theme of this episode. Fucking bugs. You know what? I've never had trouble with these bugs out here either. I come out here like to the barn twice a week, and I never see these fucking assholes out here. I'm so gonna electrocute the shit out of them. Fuck you, PETA.
They deserve it at this point.
But yeah, so she goes to their house and she gets Peter, the son, and the dad to come down. And the dad's kind of sick of her shit by then. Like, she's like losing her shit, and I can see why, but at the same time, he's like, he could be a little bit more caring about the situation because she did just lose her son and mom. But like,
her daughter and mom, yeah.
Or, yeah, what the fuck am I saying? Goddamn, daughter and mom. So, yeah, they try. He's really reluctant, but like, the glass moves for them, and the candle flames up and stuff, and like, dude, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm not fucking doing this shit. I'll be right back, okay?
That's okay.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. I got my electro racket here for killing bugs. It doesn't work as well on these beetle things, but it works. I cooked a couple bugs and I smashed a few bugs. I'm a pretty peaceful guy and I'm an animal lover. I don't even like to kill bugs, but I don't like them flying at my fucking face all the time. So I crushed them because I am bigger than them. Anyways, so we are talking about Hereditary. Let's talk about that some more.
Yeah, so the last thing we were talking about was the seance that the mom performed with her family there in their house, and about how Steve, the father, is just completely done with the mom's shit at this point. And you can tell throughout the movie that she's slowly losing her sanity, and he's
also about 30 years older than her, so it's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, he looks super old compared.
It's Gabriel Byrne. Yeah. He was in Stigmata.
He was still like, he was a loving dad. I think he was the most normal out of every character. He was the most he was a normal person. Everybody else kind of had issues and they were all kind of weird, but he was just a normal dude, just stuck in the middle of his fucking weird ass family doing crazy things.
Right.
And
I mean, the son was pretty normal for the most part as well until things started happening.
Well, then we realized that he's been traumatized. And he's kind of just working through like the functions of being a normal like teenage dude. But we find out that I don't remember when it said, it was a few years earlier. Apparently, the mom has some mental issues, just like her family, because her brother had schizophrenia, and we learned that the mom has trouble like sleepwalking. And before she woke up in the middle of the night once, and she was in her children's rooms when the son and the daughter shared a room, and she had poured paint thinner all over them, and she was holding a lit match. And
on herself too. She said they were all like covered from like head to toe in paint thinner. Getting my racket ready. But yeah, imagine, oh god, what a way to go right there. What happened? Holy shit. Well, my wife was walking in her sleep and dumped paint thinner all over my kids and burnt them. I was like, are you sure she was walking in her sleep?
Yeah, for real. Like, that's such a weird thing. And the dream that she had about that night, how it started out and you thought everything was normal. You didn't realize it was a dream at first. This is one of my favorite scenes. It was when the mom walked into the son's room. And he's just kind of like, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I was sleepwalking. And she said some horrible shit like, I'd never wanted to be your mom. And I tried everything I could to like abort you and this crazy shit. And it's these close-up zooms of their face going back and forth, of them screaming at each other. And then all of a sudden it zooms back to both of them and they look soaking wet, just out of nowhere. Like, you're like, this is normal. And all of a sudden they look like they've been standing at a rainstorm. And then she lights the match, and you realize that it's a dream, and it was that night of her, like, trying to light them on fire, and then she just wakes up startled.
Yeah.
That was fucking...
They did that good, too, because you don't think it's a dream until you see the wet part. Then you're like, oh yeah, it's a dream. Okay, but yeah, that is it's funny when she says like she never wanted to be. I was like, I never wanted to be your mother. She's like, she immediately like, oh shit, I can't believe I said that.
She's like, I didn't mean to say that. And then she just kept going with it too. He kept asking her questions, and it was like she was involuntarily answering it, like, but she couldn't stop herself.
Right.
It was such a good scene.
Yeah. But yeah, so like at one point the son's in the room, and by the way, like the daughter that died, she had a treehouse she would go hang out in, and it had like there's always like a red glow from it because it had space heaters, and that was a really cool visual. It looked really cool. I like Ari Aster is really good with visuals in the movie and like scenery and set and stuff like that. But that looked really cool. But so at one point, the son, Peter, he wakes up and he sees, I think he hears the tongue clicking first, and then he sees the daughter. What was the daughter's name again?
Charlie,
yeah. He sees Charlie in the corner of his room, and this is after she, I'm going to get him. Yep.
Oh, nice zap.
Zap that motherfucker. So, goddamn. So yeah, he sees Charlie in the corner of the room. And he's trying to, he's like, "Hey, Charlie," or whatever, and like, she like looks at him, and then like her head just falls down, and then it rolls on the ground and turns into like a green and white ball or something like that.
Like a foam basketball or something is what it looked like.
Charlie?
Yeah. So that was weird. But yeah. So I'm trying to. I don't know the order of the movie. But basically, what it comes down to is like eventually Toni Collette looks through a bunch of her mom's old stuff, and she finds these photo albums, and she sees that lady that showed her the seance stuff, and she sees that they were friends and they were in obviously some sort of cult. They had like the same necklaces on, and like early she thought it was some sort of cultish thing. So she goes to try to confront her, and she's not at the house, but it like goes into her house and it shows the table. There's all sorts of like witchcraft stuff there, and there's a triangle like carved into the table, and it's got Peter's picture in the middle of it,
with like his eyes
with his eyes cut out and stuff. And yeah, there's at one point like the ghost of Charlie is writing in her notebook, and it's over and over again. It's Charlie, it's a picture of Peter with his eyes crossed out on that as well.
Several pictures of like the same thing that she drew like over and over again, and it was after she was dead, and the mom was witnessing her drawing these. You could just tell that for some reason, which at this point you're thinking, oh, Charlie's a vengeful ghost and her brother killed her, so she's after him, right?
Right.
And that scene at his school when it's almost like he got possessed by Charlie, if you will, and you see his arm kind of raise up in that uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
It looked like someone your hand shouldn't.
Had someone like twisted his arm almost.
Yeah, like it was not natural.
Yeah, and then like
slammed his face into his desk and broke his nose, and it's like it knocked him out of it, and all of a sudden he was screaming and not knowing what was happening, and just blood all over his face.
Yeah.
So really, I didn't have no choice.
Nestor is driven by revenge, just like the rest of you. Peter! Peter, what's wrong? Peter, are you all right?
Can you breathe?
Peter, what are you doing here?
And like when it showed his face, like his lip was curled up and his eyelid was curled up too. Like something was almost
twitching.
pulling it to. Yeah, yeah. Man.
That was a great visual. That made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah. But yeah, and so the mom, she tries to take Charlie's notebook and throw it in the fire. And when she does this, her arm starts to catch on fire, her shirt. And so I guess she realizes immediately what it is. She takes it out, she stomps out the fire, and then her arm goes out. And so then she has the husband do it. She like begs him to do it for some reason. Like she puts lighter fluid on to throw in there. And like then he's about to, he's losing his mind again. He's like, I can't do this. This is crazy. He's just like looking, he doesn't even know what to say, you can tell. He's just like
Looks defeated.
Yeah, it's like, this sucks. I can't believe this is happening to my family. I'm sick of this. He thinks it's still like, bullshit. All the good. Even like when he saw like the shit that happened at the seance, he still like wasn't like convinced about anything.
Yeah.
Nope, getting a bug. Gotcha. Don't fuck with me. But yeah, so she ends up throwing it in there, and he catches completely on fire. It's not a shirt sleeve.
Well, his entire body is up in flames.
His whole goddamn body is on fire. And so yeah, he dies as fuck.
He dies as fuck.
He dies as fuck, man.
He's dead as fuck, yo.
But this is where it gets really creepy, in my opinion. Like, God, Peter gets home and he finds the dad like charred in the living room, and so he's freaking out about that. And like, I think does he go upstairs? And I think he's upstairs in like his mom's room or something like that. And like he doesn't see her, but like you see up in the screen that she is up in the corner of the ceiling and wall. She's just like holding on to the beam in the wall like this. She's just up there, like possessed like and shit.
Yeah, which it was really well lit too. It was so dark in that corner that you don't notice at first because you're watching Charlie, because it's in his room actually, and he's like in bed. Yeah. And he wakes up and he kind of looks around and he notices the treehouse, the space heater, the light from it is shining through. So you're focusing on him, and then out of the corner eye in the darkness, you just see her kind of twisted uncomfortably in that corner, and it zooms in to him looking around, and you can just see her like, it almost looks like she's swimming like through the air.
Yeah, this is it shows her in the corner at first, and then like it's a different shot. Yeah, and then like, exactly what you said. She's not crawling on the wall, but she's just kind of like crawling on the air or something, and like it's really fucking creepy looking. I actually rewound it to watch that part because I thought it looked pretty cool.
Because I did too, because at first I thought she was on the wall, but it didn't look quite right, so I went back on it, and she's not even touching the wall. She's just creepily crawling like through the air, like she's teleporting herself out.
Yeah, so he goes up to the basement after that, right?
So that was before he saw his dad's body, actually. So he realizes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So because he wakes up, because his dad takes him home from school because he's fucked up, his nose is broken, and he like passed out. And while he's sleeping, that's when his mom goes up in the attic, and she finds her mom's body up in there, completely black skinned and decapitated.
Probably not leave that out.
Yeah. So she goes up there, and her mom's just up there, and there's candles all around her, and she looks gnarly as fuck. Like, she'd been dead a while. Her
bugs,
skin is
all that
like,
stuff.
Ugh.
And there's that same triangle, like, above her, like, I think she said in blood.
It was what we learned to find later is the pandemonium. Pandemonium? No.
Paimon?
Payman,
yeah.
So it's the symbol of Payman written up on blood on the wall.
Yeah, and Payman is one of the 8 kings of hell. Like, I thought that was super cool. 8
Oh yeah,
kings of
I did a lot of research after to like figure out who he was. But so that's when she came downstairs, and she got her husband to go upstairs and look, and he saw the body too, and he was freaking out like, what the fuck is going on? And that's when she like is losing her shit. She's like, you need to throw this book in the fire, and he doesn't want to do it because he's like, wow, you're actually crazy. You're the one who dug up your mom's grave. Like, you're doing all of this crazy shit.
Yeah. I guess sorry about leaving that part out. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then they go up to the attic or whatever, and like, Peter ends up going up to the attic, right?
To escape his mom, because once he finds his dad, he's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's turning around, and that's the first time you just see this naked, is it a dude or is it a couple people?
Yeah, it's a naked old man just standing there like smiling, and the smile again is just so creepy, just like this big bright white smile, and it's a naked old man.
Like he's on the edge of a seat, like excited.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what the fuck? And he turns around, and his mom, which is a really cool visual too, she just comes running out of a corner that was completely dark before.
Right.
You didn't even see her there, and all of a sudden she's chasing him. So he runs upstairs to the attic to get away from her. Because he doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is that his mom's fucking losing his shit trying to kill her. His dad's dead, and now his mom's chasing him.
Yeah. Possessed people are scary as shit, man.
Fuck.
But, like, yeah, I think the part I was trying to overzealously get to is when, like, he's trying to hide from her, and then all of a sudden he looks up, and she's above him, floating in the air, and she has, like, I don't know if it's piano wire or something like that, but it's wrapped around her throat, and she's going back and forth, just sawing her head off, and there's blood just squirting every time she moves it. Oh my god, dude, that part is so fucked up. It's so awesome too. Yeah, but like they did really good. It looks really real, and yeah.
So right before that, when he was hiding up in there and she was trying to get up into the attic, he thought he was safe because she couldn't get to him. And it was that really cool visual of that like sideways shot of her on the attic door, like on the ceiling, crouched over it, just floating, banging her head like over and over again. Oh my
god, yeah, that too. I'm forgetting all the cool shit.
So I'm here to remind you.
But yeah, that part was super creepy. Yeah, that's before. How the fuck did I forget that? Yeah, before she's in the attic. Yeah, like you said, she's floating on the door, and her head just going.
Like
you hear the knocking,
out of it.
And like you think she's just pounding on it, but it shows her in her head just hitting the attic, and that, oh god, dude, that's one of the creepiest part of the whole movie too. That was insanely crazy.
Because you know that she's like possessed or something while her husband is burning, which is a really great job on Colette's part, because it's this zoom in of her face, and she's just completely horrified about what she's done, and her husband's dying right in front of her. And all of a sudden it completely changes her, and she kind of just like moves up, and you can see her face relax, like something has just like entered her body.
Yeah. And right when you did that, like the screen glitched a little bit. It was almost kind of creepy.
Ooh, spooky.
Do you hear knocking behind you?
Hold on.
But yeah, so after that, shit, here, you go ahead, because I keep forgetting shit.
Well, yeah, so once she's in the attic, which we have no idea how she got there, just all of a sudden he looks up and she's up there sawing her own head off. And which is just great, creepy. Like the sound of it, you can hear it kind of like sawing against like her bone. Yeah. And like going through her flesh, which is just fucking crazy. Yeah. And he looks around, and more fucking old naked people are just hanging out in the attic staring at him doing the same creepy smiling, and he's just like,
naked
what the
smiling
fuck?
old people, dude. What the fuck?
That's one of the creepiest part of the movie, I think. 'Cause
That's
it's
scary
just
enough as
totally
it is. It's
unexpected.
like naked old people smiling.
And you
I don't
could
wanna
see
see
all
that.
of them too. Like, I saw more old man dick and old lady titty than I ever wanted to see.
Yeah, right.
Stop! Mom, please stop! Mom, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry! Mommy, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you to stop. Mommy? Just gotta wake up. You're dreaming, you just gotta wake up. Come on. You're okay. Just wake up. Wake up. Come.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
but you can see that she is just sawing her head off, and there's these random old people that are fucking naked for some reason in his attic, and he jumps out the window to try to escape from it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him fall, which it doesn't seem like a very far distance from like how they shot it.
Right.
But you know he's in the attic, so that's like 3 stories up. So I don't know how tall of a building you have to jump off of to kill yourself.
Right.
But
hey, you can survive that.
That's what I was thinking, but
might just break a leg or two.
But I think he landed face down, and it acted like he died, is what I got from it, because I think that was the whole point, is to get him to die, which was, we find out later. But while he's down there face on the ground, the camera stays on him, but you can still hear the mom sawing her head off. And then all of a sudden it just stops, and you hear it fall and like hit the ground.
Right. Yeah. That is awesome.
It's just really cool, like oddly. Like,
so yeah, after that, doesn't he just kind of like wake up, and then he looks up and he sees his mom, his mom's decapitated body float up to the treehouse where Charlie used to hang out.
Yeah, and one of the parts of the movie that happened pretty often is you see this blue light kind of guiding the characters, like direction and focus.
Yeah, it's like a ring that like kind of shoots across the whole room or something.
Yeah, which like a reflection. It looks like somebody's holding like their phone out and it's reflecting in the sun, kind of, you know? Except it's like this blue.
Right.
And you see that light kind of go over his body and disappear into him. Which you don't know what it obviously means at first, but you see him get up and he follows his decapitated mother up into the treehouse. And he gets up there, and all those old people are just kneeling down, asses up in the air, everything flopping around, just
and you see some
submission.
old dude's little dick.
Oh yeah.
Lots of.
When I was watching that with Kyle, right, and he's like, "Oh my god, I just saw that guy's dick," and he like turned away from the screen.
Take that, Kyle.
But yeah, yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, they're all like kneeling. There's like this statue. It almost looks like Jesus in a way. It's like this big wooden.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And they had like these like almost like metal rays, like sunshine rays coming out of it.
Well, did you notice what the face was?
What was it again?
It was the little girl's decapitated head on it. It was Charlie's head that was on the side
was
of
it
the wall.
really?
Yeah, it was. So on that big, like, the thing that looks like Jesus, the little statue they made looks like a mannequin, and it's her head on the place of it with the crown on it.
How the fuck did I not notice that?
I had to go back because I didn't notice it first because I thought it was just Jesus, and Kyle mentioned it, so we reversed it, and I zoomed in, and it's her head.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go like watch that part after this. After we get done recording, That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't notice that part.
Yeah, it's really cool because it kind of ties it all together too. Because, so then one of the old people kind of gets up, Joanne, the mom's
the lady that showed the sign. Yeah, the lady that showed her the seance, the seance,
the ritual.
Yeah.
And she kind of takes the crown from dead Charlie's head, and puts it on Peter, and she explains the whole purpose of everything that happened up until that point, and she's calling him Charlie.
Yeah, right.
So
it's like they're the same being almost.
Like Charlie went into his body.
Right. And then she says that he is the 8th king, one of the 8 kings of hell. How do you say it again? Paimon or Paimon? Paimon. Paimon. Because I always have my subtitles on when I watch movies. But yeah, and like I think he just kind of accepts it, and he stands there, and like they all kind of bow down, and do they start saying Hail Paimon?
Yeah, Hail Paimon.
Right.
Which we find out is the whole purpose of it, because also after that light enters his body and he stands up, he clicks his tongue.
Oh yeah, he clicks his tongue.
Remember?
Yeah.
So the whole purpose of all this is, we find out, is this elaborate ritual to bring back Paimon. And his whole story is he was like a feminine person, but he was a man. So they had to get rid of his inferior body, which was Charlie's body, a girl. So that's why they decapitated her. Because the whole decapitation is his preferred method of sacrifice.
Okay.
Payman specifically, that's how he prefers like his blood sacrifice to be given to him. He's just all about, he's a decapitation boy. He loves that shit.
Decapitation boy. Yeah.
So they go through this whole thing to get him out of Charlie's body because she's inferior, because she's a girl, and do this to put it into Peter's body instead, which is a more perfect male body for Payman as his host.
Right.
And that's the reason behind all of the events of the movie, you find out, is this cult just manipulating this family like they're in their own little dollhouse, like the mom makes. Right. Cultivating this whole story about how they can bring back Payman, despite all the sacrifices that their family went through, because they're seeking just riches and knowledge. And
yeah. And it kind of just ends on that, them worshiping him, and it's another good ending. Like here lately, I've noticed I've been talking about movies on here where like the ending is really good. Like Hatchet, the end of that was really good, and From Dusk Till Dawn ended just fine. It's not like an amazing ending, but it's good. It's what it should be, I guess. But yeah, I kind of like when endings like that's it, it's over now. Like you don't get to see the next chapter. You just like it led up to that moment, but yeah. So how many spooky girls do you give it?
See, I've been thinking about this, and I think I want to say 9.5. Like, it's not quite a perfect 10, and the reason why I say this is because, and only because of the ending. When you see the mom and the grandma kneeling with all the other people with their like heads chopped off, the mom looked awesome. She looked sick, but the grandma's body, it looked kind of rubbery, and like her arm was kind of like bent in like a non-natural way, and it didn't look as well as it did in the attic.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked really cool, honestly. Like, I don't know. I just like took it as like she's been dead for so long, so she just looks unnatural and looks all fucked up.
Yeah, and that's true too. Like, that makes sense, but I don't know. It just kind of looked Play-Doh-y to me. Her skin looked rubbery and not quite like, I don't know, leathery, like old bodies that are decaying look like, you know? But no, I think 9.5, it's definitely an unsettling movie. Like, the whole time you're watching it, you're just kind of creeped out. I think it does a really good job of that. And
it kept me kind of glued to it too. Yeah. But yeah, I was kind of glued to the screen the whole time again. I mean, like, it's been a while since we watched it. Like, sometimes it's easy if I've only seen a movie once to forget most of it. So, like, there was parts I definitely remembered, but it was cool, like, rewatching it again. Like, half of it was kind of like a new movie because it's been a while since I've watched it. But
for sure.
I'm going to give it 9 Spooky Boys. Like, I think it's an excellent movie. It doesn't get the 10 for me. But, yeah, I suggest everybody watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a really good movie. It's kind of slow at times, but I don't think it's a bad slow. I think it
builds up to everything really well. Like, it's slower, but everything happens really consistently. It never stops showing you things.
Yeah, it's a good progression, and like, I like it a lot. And like, just because a movie's slow doesn't mean it's bad either, in my opinion. Like I've said on here before, The Godfather's my favorite movie, and that's just like mainly talking, you know. I mean, there's some action in it here and there, but like, it's just a good movie, man. Anyways, so yeah, that was Trash Blood Talks Flicks. We talked flicks. We talked flick.
Ooh.
We talked one flick.
We talked a flick.
Me flick boy.
Don't say that. Don't like that.
Me flick boy. Yeah, that sounds weird, huh? So anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for movies, hit us up on the Trash Blood Horrorcast Facebook page. Any feedback, anything at all, you guys just want to say hi, we'll say hi back to you, just like that. Pretty cool, huh? We're real people, too.
Bada boom, bada
I'm wearing my real t-shirt. I'm wearing an old-ass Friday the 13th shirt that I've had for a long time. The neck is a little bit stretched out. That's how long I've had it.
We're both wearing spooky shirts.
There's probably stains. Yeah, we're spooky as hell. But Anyways, let's take a break real quick, and we're going to come back, and then we're going to do a script that Maddie wrote for Trash Blood's original sequels, and it is Critters 6, Let's Get Furry. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, cool. We'll be right back. Cool.
Critters 6, let's get furry.
Exterior. On a planet some fucking where in the expanse of the galaxy, some dumb science nerd is nerding out about geology.
Shucks, I love rocks. I wish I was a rock, but then I wouldn't have a chance with dumps.
Lucy gazes up at the sky all googly-eyed and shit, thinking about Hot Rod Marcel Dumps Magoo and his famous shitter. Like a real dumb idiot, she trips and faceplants.
Ah! I'm dumb as a box of rocks.
Lucy ugly cries until she spots what she tripped over.
Ugh. Oh, wow, more rocks. This planet is full of them. Hooray!
Lucy picks up the rocks and begins a dumb shit. Lucy picks up the rocks and, being a dumb shit, doesn't notice that they're not rocks but eggs of some sort.
These are the prettiest, ugliest pieces of shit rocks I've ever seen. I'm taking them home.
Lucy stuffs the fucking eggs into her backpack and hears her radio beep.
Beep, beep. Luce, come in. Get back to the ship immediately. We're set to leave in T-minus 5 minutes.
Lucy runs back to the ship as fast as she can, clapping like a loser and singing.
I love rocks, 'cause they're not socks. They can break a lock, and that's no talk. Yeah!
Once she boards the ship, Lucy throws her backpack on the ground all willy-nilly like a silly Billy and finds her only non-rock friend.
Let's get out of here before we miss the next racy spacey tournament, chat. I like it 'cause they go vroom straight past the moon.
Rhyming is a neat thing for you.
I brought my own toilet seat this time for Dumps to sign, and I even cleaned all the poo-poo and pee-pee off it, biatch.
She did not clean the shit, nor the piss off of it. You know what? You only like going to the spacey... Shit. You know what? You only like going to the racy spacey tournaments because you love Dumps. He is like totally out of your league, biatch. Unlike me, a real bad potty boy.
A bad potty boy? I don't even want to know what that is.
You know what? You wouldn't understand how Dumps changed the space drag racing game. He's the best racer in the galaxy, biatch.
I know that. He's won every race since he started.
It made him rich, you know. Like, he made so much money that he got his ship custom built with a special port so he could take dumps all over the other racers like the losers that they are.
If I could touch his butt just once, I think I could die happily.
I even kept most of the turd I caught from the last tournament. Want to see? Chet pulls out a mason jar that stinks like regurgitated fly vomit with a single glorious turd sitting in green chemical sludge.
Fucking sick, bro. In the cool punk way, my dude, bro 5 ever. What do you mean most of, though? What did you do with the rest of it?
I ate it, duh. So dumps can be a part of my dumps. And then I can like be dumping champion. I can be like a dumping champion too, biatch.
Shit! Can I have some too, biatch? I'll do anything for a piece of dumps to be in me too. I can keep my poopy poop from when I sploosh it out and recycle it. I'll never have to eat anything else ever again.
No way, biatch. This is mine. Get your own turds. You'll have your chance soon. Hey, there's the arena. The spaceship, full of dumb smarty pants, pulls up to the arena and docks in the loading bay.
I'll race you to the stands, biatch.
Like you could beat me, biatch. Chet slams his prized turd on the ground, and they race off into the arena, yelling dumb comments at each other all the way. Lucy's backpack starts moving and grooving, and little chitter chatter emanates from it. Another scientist comes by and notices.
Wow, what did Luce bring back this time? Better not be some freaky little alien.
The scientist unzips the backpack and peers inside, seeing fuzzy butt babies cracking out of their eggs.
Holy limp schlongs! I bet these suckers taste like chicken nuggers.
The scientist reaches in to grab one, but leaps at his hand and it bites. Fuck. The scientist reaches in to grab one, but it leaps at his hand and bites his fingers clean off.
Ugh! Little fucker bit my butt-sniffing fingers off. Bad nuggy.
The fuzzball leaps out of the backpack and onto the scientist, clinging to his flesh and eating him alive. Nom, 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 nom. Human. The critters burp in harmony and start eating everything in sight, growing bigger and bigger with every piece of the ship they consume. The biggest critter spots Chet's prized turd and rolls towards it. Smell yummy. The critter picks up and chomps on the jar with razor-sharp teeth and chews up the turd. More. The other critters gather around their leader and chatter obnoxiously to themselves. Silence! We must find the human that Yum Yum Poopy belongs to. Yes, hungry, food, yay, food, poop, yay. Hungry, poop, yay. Let's roll. It's time to get furry. The critters rush into one another, forming a massive ball of fur and teeth, rolling out of the spaceship and into the arena. Interior. Lucy and Chet are sitting in the stands of the arena, farting back and forth to each other, unaware of what has become of their spaceship. Yeah, beat that, biatch.
You can't outfart me, biatch. This is why I know Dumps and I belong together. Only I can keep up with his awesome butt.
The smell of double farting power attracts the attention of a fellow Dumps fan, which is obvious from the giant hairy butt hat on his head. Hi, you guys must be here for Dumps, huh? I can smell true Dumps fan from a mile away.
You're darn tootin' we are, stranger.
You're looking at his number one fan and his future butt friend. Right here.
You mean butt wife.
Wowzers. Nice to meet you guys, and, soon to be Miss Butt.
Hey, where did you get that sick-ass hat from, my dude?
Oh, you mean this replica of legendary Dump? Oh, wait, I'm doing the wrong voice. Oh, you mean this replica of the legendary Dump Butts itself? Shit, they're selling them at the rootinest, tootinest booty butt dump stop by the step.
What?
Wow, rhyming is a neat thing for you.
I have to get one of those bodacious booties for myself. Save my seat, biatch. I'm on the hunt for dump butt souvenirs.
Hurry up, biatch, before you miss the first dump of the racy wacy. Yay, sports! Lucy runs off and looks back over her shoulder, smirking.
That fool, that blubbery booty hole. As if I didn't already have every butt-shaped souvenir in the whole galaxy. The only thing I'm missing is a turd from the butt itself, and I'm not waiting around hoping it'll get dumped on me today.
Lucy makes her way secretly back to the spaceship to claim her long-awaited prize, ignoring the screams that are starting from the arena. She makes it to the ship, but finds the door blasted right open.
What kind of real idiot dickhead doesn't lock the door? There's all kinds of weirdos here.
She steps inside and right into a puddle of the scientist's blood and screams.
Ah! Ew! This is not the kind of body junk I like. If it's not bloody poop, then I don't want it.
What a nice lady. Lucy makes her way into the ship and sees all the damage done by the critters, mumbling to herself about hooligans. All right, and she's mumbling yeah. She spots broken glass on the floor and freezes and then drops to her knees in anguish.
Oh, these fucking hooligans are just breaking all the... Oh, no! Why? Of everything here, why did they have to destroy his legacy?
She gathers up the shards of glass and licks them, desperately trying to get any leftover residue she can from them. She spots her backpack next and opens it up.
What? Double damn no! First they take a part of the love of my life, and then my best friends too. I'm sorry, Rox. I'm so sorry. Oh wait, there's still pieces of you here.
Lucy picks up the broken egg shells and crunches them in her fingers, then sniffs them.
Now hold on just a minute. These ain't no rocks at all. They smell like meat.
Thunderous clapping grabs her attention, and she drops her backpack. The ship didn't matter to her anymore, and neither did her dead friends. That clapping could mean only one thing. Dumps had entered the arena.
I'm coming, my smelly love.
Lucy rushes off the destroyed ship and stares up in awe into space. Dumps and the other racy vroom vroom boys following behind him makes a loop around the arena as the audience applauds. And like a gift from heaven, Dumps opens his disposal shaft and drops turds all over the people, one landing on Lucy's face.
Yes! Oh, today is the day. I knew it. It's everything I knew it would be. His turd smelled just like mine. We are meant to be.
As Lucy is rubbing the excrement all over her face, Chet runs up screaming to her. Lucy, what are you doing, biatch? Look around you. We're all going to be feces soon.
Shut up, biatch. You can't ruin this moment for me. I've been dreaming about it since I was a little sperm in my daddy's ball sack.
Lucy is startled when Chet screams right in her face and blood splashes on her, warmer even than the poop she was playing with. She rubs the shit out of her eyes so she can see. Jesus.
Chet, no!
Critters had latched onto his legs and were crawling up his body, chomping on his flesh, like Lucy wanted to chomp on Dump's shit. Yum! Yummy, human.
Get off of him, you duty birds.
Lucy slaps one of the critters off of Chet and screams when it bites her hand. Chet falls to the ground gurgling in his own blood, shitting in his pants, and dies. Lucy runs towards him and stands away from the critters as they finish their meal.
Help! Anyone! Someone! My friend just shit his pants and died!
But no one was paying attention to her. The critters had invaded the stands and were eating the seats right from under everyone. The arena was in chaos. Lucy stumbled over half-eaten dead bodies, kicking critters left and right, trying to get to safety.
Oh, they're everywhere. This isn't radical at all.
The racers do their racy vroom vroom thing above the chaos. They were unaware was happening. They fly right over Lucy as she gasps.
I have to warn Dumps. If they get him, the whole galaxy won't be able to ship for a week and mourning of such a bootylicious tragedy.
Lucy spots a spaceship that the critters hadn't got to yet because how else would the narrative go on? It's convenient. So what? Fuck off.
Yes! This is my only chance to save the love of my butt and my life.
As Lucy runs to the ship, the lead critter stops chewing on the lackluster butt he had found and sniffs the air. Seeing the ships above, he catches a whiff of what delicious turd smell he had been searching for. He knows they have to get up there, but they have already eaten all of the ships.
Come on, Luce, you big dum-dum, run faster!
The lead critter jumps at Lucy as she runs past him and sees where she's heading. Ah, follow me, critters, to bite the best butt of your lives. Wait, hold on, let me do that again. Follow me. Is that Crite? Or is that supposed to be critters?
That's probably supposed to be critters.
Okay.
You know I can't read.
Yeah. Follow me, fellow critters, to bite the best butt of your lives. Riding is a neat thing for you. The critters roll together to the ship and latch onto the bottom of the hull as Lucy takes off and flies after the racy-wacy boys, navigating perfectly to the front of the race like her butt depends on it.
I'm almost there, my love. We must unite our butts to save them.
Marcel dumps Magoo, looks back to check out how far ahead and badass he looks to his competitors, but sees Lucy's ship instead, and her waving frantically at him with a huge smile and shit in her teeth.
Oh, man, not this stalker chickadee again. Shit! She'll never get a piece of this booty, no siree. It's time the king of dumps teaches her a lesson she'll never wash off.
Dumps initiates the port locking mechanism to open the latch under his butt, and he starts gurgling his tummy to take a massive duty.
Oh, wow! I've never seen his butt this close before. It really is my day. And I can see his dirty balls, too.
The critters take a big sniff and start chanting excitedly. Ah, butt. Finally, the butt of my dreams. Follow me to destiny. The critters claw their way up over the spaceship and form a ball of furry fury to launch themselves up.
Ah! Watch out, Dumps! Dump stinky bitch! Watch out for this!
Dumps takes the biggest, smelliest dump he could muster and screams as he shoots it out at terminal velocity.
Eat my coveted shit!
The critters jump through the shitty cloud up into the port. Lead critter says, "Now we feast!" Lucy cries in horror as the critters swarm Dump's spaceship and eat him from booty hole to brain.
There will never be a more perfect, smelly, crusty butt ever again.
Heartbroken and shitting herself in mourning, Lucy turns her spaceship around and crashes straight into the critter-filled arena, not wanting to live in a galaxy without the best butt there ever darn was. The end. All right. Good job, Maddie. Definitely
that was a
my
lot
sister.
of fun to write.
Yeah, I love writing these scripts. It's so much fun. But yeah, definitely my sister with a script like that. That's awesome. With a script like that, with the butts and the poops and the poops and the stinks.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was Trash Blood's original sequels. If anybody has any ideas for like a title you want to shoot our way, let us know. Just like give us a title though. We're gonna write the rest. I mean, if you want to share some ideas, that's cool too. But I'm kind of just looking to write my own fucking thing, okay? But yeah, just if you got a title for anything, like some of the past scripts we've done is like The Exorcism of RoboCop, National Lampoon's Poltergeist 4, American Werewolf on Tinder, all sorts of, something like that. There, Friday the 13th, Jason Takes a Day Job. That was another one. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Bed instead of Dead. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for a script, send it our way. And like I said before, likes, shares, rate, review, all that stuff. Please do that. It will seriously help us out a lot. Share us on your Facebook and your MySpace and your Twitch and your Twitter and your MySpace and your MySpace and also your MySpace. But yeah. Do you have anything to say before we end this Trash Blood Horrorcast episode?
I'm just really excited to be able to do this more often with you, and I look forward to doing more of these scripts and getting your guys' ideas and opinions on all the horror movies we should talk about and the scripts we should write. And I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good episodes ahead of us. And here soon, I think we're going to have a guest. And if you guys would like to be on the show at some point, and we're looking to have people do scripts with us as well. And so we can have like guests on for that, or if you have any stories you want to share or talk about horror movies in general. But yeah, hit us up.
Hit us up. Get our digits, girl.
Yeah, get our digits, girl. But anyways, thanks again for watching, listening. Hopefully this will be up on Spotify soon. If you're listening to it on Spotify now, like, hey, look, it worked. I want to get back to electrocuting the shit out of bugs.
I'm going to get back to having a life. I don't know what I was doing before this.
I don't either. I was probably just pacing or something. I was actually kind of petting dogs a lot today. One thing I did today, drinking water, petting dogs, and I spent 2 hours cleaning my refrigerator today.
Oh, wow.
Like detailing, like pulling every single thing out of it. It's like I'm on meth or something, but I'm not. But yeah, like coffee, and I had a Bang energy drink, and I was like, I needed something to do. I was just bored as shit. So I cleaned that shit out of my refrigerator.
You're like a real adult now.
Real adult. Cleaning my fridge, pulling shit out, cleaning that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.
Anyway.
Oh, God, I guess so.